Hey, my pretty ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Silky. If you do, thanks for returning. If you have not liked, comment, or subscribed, please go ahead and do those things right now. I'll give you a second. Go ahead and subscribe right there. Thank you for the support. This channel is free advice, you guys, so go ahead, join the Silky family, this pretty family. Go ahead and join. Now, as you guys see in the title below, this is a updated eyebrow routine and just a fresh face, just to go out, take the kids to school, go pick up lunch, go have lunch with your boo. Like, this is the face, this one right here. Yes. So if you guys really want to see what products I use in this video and how we got these beautiful brows, then keep on watching. Alright, my pretty ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a brow tutorial today. I want to give you guys an update on my brow routine. So yeah, just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the video. So the items we're going to need, this is the Anastasia brow freeze. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, this is it. That is the back of it, and this is what it's look like. It's like a cream gel, almost like a edge control type of consistency. If you don't want to buy this, you can go ahead and buy your favorite edge control that's not so oily. I'm going to take this Anastasia number 12 brush. It has your angled brush on this side and then your spoolie on this side, and this right here is my Benefit Brow in the shade 6. This is my Born This Way translucent powder in honey, and you need a brush. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to zoom you guys in and we're going to get these brows done. This should be close enough. I hope you guys can see. As you see, I already went in and trimmed my brows. I used a razor and I also used some brow scissors to, you know, cut them down to shape them really good. So first things first, we're going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder, and we want to powder our brows down. The reason for that is so that they don't get really oily, because your brows can tend to get really oily. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Let's go ahead and press that powder in. And then I like to push it into the hairs and push it up and out like so. I also have this one right here. This is the Anastasia Brow Dip Pomade, and this is in the shade Ebony. I'm going to also use this too. This is what it looks like in the cap. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and use that one also. So first thing we're going to do is go into that brow freeze, and I'm going to take it on the back of this spoolie. It's up to you. You can either fill your brows in first and then go in with the brow freeze. Alright, so we're first going to go ahead and grab that number 12 spoolie by Anastasia, and we're going to get some of that product out of there. And you can put it on the back of your hand because it warms it up and it helps it to move. So that's really good thing for you. And you don't really need a lot of this. Alright, so take that spoolie, and first you want to brush your brows up. Now at this point, you'll be able to tell if you need to cut some of that brow off with your scissors. You could tell. Like, you see the difference? Not brush, brush. So first thing you want to do is brush those brows up. Then you want to go into your pomade that you put on the back of your hand. And you want to start that line like right above your eye, where you want to fill those brows in at. And it's going to glide on because you did warm the product up. You can do small strokes, but if you're used to it, just go ahead and put that line right in there, just like so. Yes, it's a little crooked. It doesn't matter because we're always going to go in and clean it up. Now you want to do the top half. You want to follow that shape. You can actually, at this point, you can either brush it down or you can leave it up. I like to leave mine up so I can see where I'm going. Same thing, we're going to start just a little bit more over from the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and just draw that line on there. And connect it, just like so. That part is fairly easy. Take that same brush and just start putting small strokes inside. Take a little time, but you'll get it. And whatever's left on that brush, bring it toward the front. Bring those strokes downward. And back up. And at this point, go in with your spoolie and brush. Put a little pressure on there. Brush down and brush up. Brush down and brush up. And then over. So that's like your guide, period. Basically, that's like your guide. Then I like to go in with the Benefit brow pencil. And like I said, this is in the shade 6. And if I feel like they need to be filled in more, that's what I'll do. The color's not too harsh. So as you can see, it still needs to be filled in back here, but this front part looks good. You can bring this line under here. And that'll give you a nice guide too. Alright, so now we have that down. I'm going to go back in with my spoolie and I'm going to brush this front part this way. And then back up. And brush it all in. You gotta, like I said, you have to apply pressure. If you don't apply pressure, it's not going to give you the brows you want at all. So apply some pressure and then go back in where it looks sparse and make some more stroke-like hairs, like so. Brow looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good. So that is the brow with just the pomade and the Benefit pencil, and also, like I said before, that powder on top. Now let's go into the Anastasia brow freeze. I want to put that on the spoolie. Okay, so we have both the brows filled in. I already showed you how to do it. And now keep in mind this front part of your brow, you want it to be kind of wispy. You don't want it to be so harsh. So I kind of leave mine this way. Let's say you didn't have any brow toward the front at all. What you want to do is take and roll that pencil up just a tad, like so. And you want to make strokes, like really light strokes. Do you see that? How it's just making really light strokes. Then you go back over it. You kind of tense them up a little bit. Then you take that spoolie and you brush up. Just constantly brush up and it'll give you that effect. That's for my girls that don't really have brows toward the front and you want to make them more, you know, pow pow, baby. But yeah, so you kind of just brush up strokes like this towards the front. And it'll give you those strokes. You see? Now we have the strokes toward the front. Alright, so you can see that this one, right, but I like them not to look so alike. I like the fact that my brows don't look alike. That's just my preference. You don't have to do yours that way, but that's the way I like mine. And a trick, if you feel like your brows are both different and you want to clean up somewhere, take your spoolie and just rub it against your skin and it'll come right off like a charm, promise you. I'm gonna stop right there because sometimes when you doing your brows, you can go in too much, you keep going in and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and just like exhausting. So now we're gonna go ahead and go in with the Anastasia brow freeze. We're gonna use that number 12 spoolie from Anastasia, and we're gonna put that, we're gonna dig right into that. I kind of bent the brush so I can get into the product. I'm gonna put it right in there. It's about that much on there. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and just start brushing through. I like to start at the beginning because I want that part of my brow to really stand up. So let's go ahead. Like kind of put it on there first. That way it'll kind of dry down. Like push it into the brow. Like so, right? kind of let it dry a little bit if you want to, or you can just go ahead and just start sweeping up. At the front, you want to go ahead and brush upward and out. See how I give you that effect? And you want to really push that product in there. And as you're doing that, you want to make sure you take the brow in the direction you want it to go. And you see how the brow gets darker? Just like so. That's basically what I do to my brows. Okay, you see the difference? This brow is nice and flat. This brow is still really fluffy. Alright, now we have that brow freeze on there. They still look really natural. They just look really thick now. This one's still kind of wet. This one is pretty much dry. Now you can take a makeup wipe. It's up to you to clean the top, because I do not clean the top of my brows. I like it to look as natural as possible. So I don't clean the top of my brows at all. So yeah. So I'll just take a wipe and I look at them. And I see that this is really too much up here. Like, I can see that I don't like that. And I just go around them like so. Just like that. So that's how I clean the top of my brows for myself. I'm not one to actually, like I said, go in and do the whole conceal the top of the brow. I don't really like that halo effect around my brows. So that's just what I do. Now your best bet with a concealer for your brows is to go in with something that's a little bit more dry. Something that's not so liquidy, something that's not so oily. Because it tends to, I don't know, it snatches your brows really well. One of my favorite concealers for my brows is the Tarte Tape Shape, and I like to use Deep. This is the one I like to use. And my favorite brush to go in with is the M224 brush, I believe. Yeah, the M224 brush is a Morphe brush. It's like flat. And I make sure I get that product all in there. I like saturate that brush because I want it to be really flat. Because this is the same brush that I use to cut my creases. But it's not this one. I have two of them. And you want to really make that flat as possible. You want to really get that product in there. And we're going to start again above the eyeball. Above your eye. And you want to just start shaping. To actually change the shape of your face, you want to go ahead and take and make yourself an arch. If you don't have one, all you do is bring it up. So bring it up to make more of an arch. You can go with a shade lighter if you want to, but this is the shade that I like to go with. And it's okay if you kind of get it on your hairs. That's fine. Like, you really won't be able to tell it's on your hairs. As long as you get the line nice and sharp and clean, you won't be able to tell. And then once you get the line where you want it, you drag the product down. Like so. You drag that product down once you get it where you want it. And we just take the remainder on the front of the brow. Nice and lightly, nothing too harsh. Okay, so yeah, so then I take a little bit more concealer and I put it there because I want it to be more concealer there, obviously. I go in with my M173 brush. I love this brush. It blends out like a dream. And you want to push it into the skin. You want to really push it into the skin so that those brows do not move throughout the day. Nothing is going anywhere. You can push and smooth, basically. Try not to get too close to that line. I kind of go in between there. Push and smooth, push and smooth. Now this product dries up really instantly, so that's why it's a good product, especially for your brows. It's just amazing. Like, wow, lift your brow up and push that line in. You don't want it to be a dead giveaway right there, like, oh my gosh, you did a brows. Like, no, that's not what we want. And the rest that's on that brush, you want to just push it into the front of the brow. Going back into that translucent powder, you want to use one that's close to your skin tone, obviously. Take that same M173 brush and push that brush into that powder. Shake it off. And again, do the same thing. Push it in and push it into the front of the brow. Like so. You see how it gives it that beautiful gradient effect? Excess back here, push it into the front of the brow. You can take this as far back as you like. I like to take mine at least, you know, to the color of my eyes, so it can look really gradient and really pretty. Okay, at this point, if you feel like your hairs are not the way you want them, go back in with your spoolie and brush. There we go. I just felt like that one needed some little spacing in between. I don't want it to look so, you know, harsh. So yeah, so now we have that. All right, so that is the brows. Eyebrow tutorial. I hope you guys really enjoyed. Since my last tutorial about 2 years ago, maybe, it has changed a little bit, except I use a brow freeze now instead of a clear soap, or, you know, nothing at all. But if you use something to make your brows stiff, they'll last throughout the day. You powder them down and this is what you get. I think my brow game has gotten way better, but like I said, if you guys know me, if you've been on this channel before, you know that I've started out doing brows on myself and others. Like, that was like my passion. My passion was brows. Like, and I was like, why not do a full face, you know? And if you guys are wondering, I just have on a light skin tint today with a little bit of concealer and also a little bit of highlighter. This is like the face, the everyday summer face. Like, let's just get up, let's go. Like, we ain't got to do all that extra stuff, because at the end of the day, we're all beautiful on the inside, no matter what. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy this brow tutorial, and I love you guys, and until next time, bye.